Hello and welcome back to Mass Effect 2. Last time we cleared out a mine from husks thanks to more indoctrination by Reaper artifacts. Seems like there's a lot of Reaper artifacts in the galaxy still lying around. And this time looks like we will be finishing off our last assignments. Most notably, the Firewalker pack, and then we will start the last DLC. So, let's get to it. So first, a very cold planet with Geth presence. Let's see how that works. Well, we're dealing with the Geth. Might as well get Zaid.
Warning. Prolonged exposure to extreme temperatures may degrade engine performance. Mission objectives located.
So we need to get moving. Otherwise, we will freeze.
Data acquired. Engine temperature stabilizing.
This looks really nice. I'm a big fan of snow in general, so this is cool.
Caution. Engine temperature falling.
Cool. There's something wrong with there. You can see the hammerhead freeze over a bit.
Extraction complete.
And mining somehow warms it up.
Caution. Engine temperature falling.
Look at that beacon.
Extraction complete.
Oh, this is palladium.
Caution. Engine temperature falling.
Another beacon here.
Extraction complete.
And yeah, these are the probes that were mentioned during the
Caution. Engine temperature falling.
in the summary of the mission. Something that Dr. Case sent out.
Extraction complete.
Oh, what's that? This also very much reminds me of some Onslaught maps in Unreal Tournament 2004.
Engine temperature below recommended parameters. Extraction complete. Caution. Engine temperature falling.
We'll get to that eventually, but that's going to take a while.
Extraction complete.
That looks like a Geth device. We did hear that this is a Geth incursion, so...
Extraction complete.
2 nodes left. But we are cooling down quite a bit.
Warning. Engine temperature below recommended parameters. Extraction complete. Caution. Engine temperature falling. Warning. Engine temperature below recommended parameters.
And that's the last one.
Extraction complete.
Objective complete.
What about that Geth device, you know? Atmospheric data recovered from all 10 nodes. No, the Geth device? No? Okay. That was weird. There was no Geth incursion otherwise. Sounds like the title of the other Firewalker mission that we did before doing the exploration of the rest of the galaxy. Kind of weird, I don't know. Any emails that we got from that? Yes, atmospheric data received from Project Firewalker. Commander, a very capable team is analyzing the data you gathered from the Geth research into atmospheric change. We hope it may open up new avenues for terraforming procedures for future colonies. The tech used in the beacons also contains communication innovations that should help us develop better systems to reduce atmospheric noise. There is no evidence of protein activity on this planet. Yep. So it's just a pretty cold planet. But if there was no Geth activity, then what was that beacon? Something is weird. Get the feeling that Bioware didn't really invest as much time into this as they could have. Oh, this is a tiny system. Salahiel. Akuna. First discovered by the Quarians at the turn of the century, Akuna is habitable, but a second-tier choice for most species. Circling an orange sun, Akuna averages below freezing temperatures. This led development firms to colonize at the planet's equator, where the climate is tolerable for agriculture. The Quarians, seeking a homeworld of their own, petitioned the Citadel Council for the right to take over Akuna, but they had already settled a few 100,000 Quarians on the planet before approaching the Council. Seeing this occupation as an illegal act, the Council turned a deaf ear to Quarian pleas and gave the world to the Elcor, who could withstand the high gravity of the world far better. The Quarians squatting on the planet were given one galactic stellar month to leave, at which point their colonies would be bombarded. The junk left behind by the fleeing Quarians clogs up portions of the landscape to this day. Non-Elcor visitors to Akuna are advised to use personal or vehicular mass effect fields to lighten the pressure, as the surface gravity will otherwise cause health and mechanical problems. So, gravity is 4 times higher. That is quite a bit. Colony founded 2103 CE. Population 221 million. Capital Bel-Shadi. Elcor Durawunofun. Orbital distance quite far. Radius quite large. And even slightly higher pressure. And indeed it's quite cold, but at the equator it's okay. Oh, I have already discovered the Sea of Storms. So all we have left to do is to investigate Project Overlord in the Typhon system. Echidna. A so-called hopped Neptune planet, Echidna rapidly orbits the star Typhon at a nose-to-nose distance much like a Pegasid, or hot Jupiter. Also like the Pegasids, it is believed to have formed further out and gradually migrated to its present position. Its core is higher in rock content than Sol's Neptune, the consequence of attracting asteroids and other debris as it journeyed through its solar system. Okay. Well, that's interesting how that works. But why hot Neptune? Why Neptune in particular? Well, it's certainly hot, given that it's very close to the star. Okay, next up. Moros. Moros is a small rock planet with a thin nitrogen and carbon monoxide atmosphere. Each city-state of 8 claims the rights to exploit the planet for its heavy metal deposits. Individual city-state governments maintain 3 small habitats on Moros, as far away from one another as possible. Nevertheless, the planet's wars have extended here, and the habitats frequently send commando teams to assault each other in small unit actions. Travel advisory: the inhabitants of Moros have sent large numbers of anti-personnel and anti-vehicular mines at common choke points across the planet. Records of the mines' locations are extremely unreliable. Civilian travel is not advised. Colony founded 2150, population 27,800. No capital. I guess all 3 of them are competing quite equally. I'm not sure how that relates to 8, but we will see soon enough. It is really cold, though. Small, very low atmosphere, and low gravity too. Yeah, so these are just small habitats for mining rather than something really useful. And lastly we have Ponos. Ponos is a typical hydrogen-helium gas giant. Its once vital helium-3 refining machinery in orbit around the planet was destroyed in one of 8's many wars, and 8's extraplanetary trade suffered severely as a result. The dictators of 8 are not pleased with the situation, but they considered it a bad strategic move to be the first to start work on a refinery before eliminating any chance of other nations or planets seizing it. Yeah, that sounds unreasonable. So, hey, we have this planet that we can do some helium refining. Let's blow it up, so that nobody can do it. 8 is an Earth-like world with a variety of habitable land ranging from deserts to jungles to tundra. It also possesses faint rings, an unusual feature for a non-giant planet. The rings contain rocks up to a meter in length and a wide dust cloud that stretches nearly 23,000 kilometers from the center of the planet. This impressive celestial phenomenon, however, is dwarfed by the fact that 8's largest moon, Lite, is in unstable orbit and is predicted to impact the planet within the next 2 centuries. Knowing that any 8ian venture is living on borrowed time, colonial population and investment has been orders of magnitude less than other garden worlds. Colony founded in 2104, population 1,540,000. Capital is Adrastea, although it is disputed. Slightly low gravity, okay temperature, low atmosphere pressure. Huh. Surprising considering the rings. If the rocks fall into the atmosphere, you would like them to burn up. There might be meteor showers or something going on here. And it's pretty small, but relatively far away. Interesting that this doesn't really say much more about the whole wars between different nations thing that the other planets mention. And it's possible to land. We cannot even scan this. So let me check if in the codex we have anything about that. Planets and locations. And do we have... Oh yeah, Cerberus Project Overlord, Planet 8. 2 beautiful moons, 1 spectacular ring, 0 neighbors, says a popular advertisement for this Terminus Systems world. 8 is known for its sparsely settled population, despite being a garden planet with a colony nearly a century old. Blessed with a mild climate, wildlife no more dangerous than that on Earth, and soil and bacteria amenable to imported plants, 8 would appear to be an unexploited paradise. However, it is unpopular for 2 reasons. The first and most obvious is that its moon, Lite, is in an unstable orbit that will lead to a planetary impact and an extinction-level event within the next 2 centuries. As such, all investment in the planet is short-term, and the biggest business is selling off the local biota to the highest bidder. The second drawback is the level of violence on the planet. Like the rest of the Phoenix massing cluster, 8 was briefly considered part of Citadel's space during its first wave of colonization. However, when the colony broke off to become an independent planet in 2133, the Council let the doomed planet go with less than a day of debate. Free from any real governing body, 8's history has since been filled with wars between small frontier town city-states over its resources. The result is a dangerous world where the average citizen is expected to be self-reliant to the point of fending for themselves against cutthroat corporations, strong-arm militia groups, and even Geth incursions. The fighting is so frequent that the name of the planet itself has changed more than 11 times. In a sign of blunt indifference, standard Citadel galaxy maps refer to the world by the name given to it by human colonists in the latter half of the century. Okay, so that's where all the extra information is. Well, let's first read the last message that we have. Overlord. From the Elusive Man. Shepard, one of our cells has just went off the grid without explanation. Project Overlord has been experimenting with highly volatile technology, and I need you to investigate. Their work is extremely compartmentalized, enough that I can divulge operational details over this channel. You'll find them on the Planet 8 Typhon system in the Phoenix massing cluster. Please use care in this matter. So, the reason why I'm doing this last. This is a Cerberus cell, Project Overlord. And effectively what we're doing is invading it. So in fact it makes more sense, even from the story's perspective, to do this after we're done with the suicide mission. And there's another reason for this, and that is that I will need to mess a bit with my audio settings to record this properly. Wait, did I mark this in as red? Yes, I did. So finally we have no new messages. But you'll see why that is in a minute. So, Project Overlord. Let's go and see what this DLC is all about. You don't want Krogan to charge at you. That is true. Take Legion, and I think I'll take Zaid. Okay, Legion can have his Geth Pulse Rifle back. And Zaid. Indicator and Viper, I guess that's okay. Yeah.
Breakout. I'll explain the details later, but you must retract that transmission dish. The controls aren't far from your position. You have to hurry.
Looks like we're here just in time. Although it's been a while since we've had that email, so you'd think that things would have gone poorly for a while now. Interestingly enough, we have landed here on our Hammerhead, and we get to see it from up close. M44 Hammerhead, with this new shiny blue Alliance livery. And the Alliance logo, instead of all the Cerberus stuff. It's an interesting synergy between DLCs, because this is from the Firewalker pack, and everything else is in Project Overlord. And in fact, you still get to use the Hammerhead if you just have the Overlord DLC and no Firewalker pack. Which also, yeah, shows that they basically bundled the entirety of the Firewalker pack into the Overlord pack, except for the maps. Oh. Power cells. And this is quite a mountainous area. And we can actually see the rings. That's very nice continuity. This door is not open. I see something going on over there. But we also saw something else down there. We have no objective. Let's make sure we're not missing something. And look at more mountains. Okay, I guess this part just has some refined palladium, and that's it. And we should get all of our powers ready. Pulse rifle. I guess that's fine. Get the disruptor ammo going. And let's go. So we need to retract the dish. That is quite a big dish. It is quite a bit larger than you might think it is, in fact. And this is seemingly the console to do something. So let's figure out what that is.
Be advised, this is a secure facility. All weapons must be declared upon entry and checked with security personnel on duty.
That sounds a bit like hell in Unreal 2. Also, there are cameras. And also a place
Be
that...
advised, this is a secure facility. All weapons must be declared upon entry and checked with security personnel on duty.
There are some office chairs and tables for working downstairs, and even some fire. Again, quite like hell. Also, we can now go here, even though that's... Oh, wait, I
This
have
is
to
a
go
secure
through there,
facility.
actually.
All weapons must be declared upon entry.
Over here, on the monitor.
Hello. So, there's Cerberus
This
personnel.
is a secure facility. All weapons.
There you are. I've locked myself in a computer room on the far side of the base. There are Geth on the loose. A rogue VI program has seized control, and I've lost a lot of friends today. I'd hate to see you join them. Please, watch yourself.
Yep.
Be advised, this is a secure facility. All weapons must be declared upon entry and checked with security personnel.
We can actually destroy
Be
cameras.
advised, this is a secure facility. All weapons must
But
be
there
declared
are
upon
Geth
entry
around
and
here.
checked with security personnel on duty.
That's why I took Zed. But where are we going now? The journal says... Retract dish. Find the controls to retract the transmission dish.
Be advised, this is a secure facility.
There
All weapons
was...
must be declared upon entry and checked with security personnel on duty.
This is kind of confusing. Let's go back here and see what's through this door first.
Be advised.
Oh wait, this door is outside, so we cannot get in there
All
yet.
weapons must be
Okay.
declared upon entry and checked with security personnel on duty.
Because this time around we're not getting threatened by a whole bunch of turrets. Access denied. Door secure from the inside. Well, we could go through there. Or we could just go through the window. pretty strong glass. And again, this is kind of like in hell. There's Archer's log. There's Cerberus terminal to recover funds. Excellent. We're stealing more from Cerberus. And some salvage for the medkit.
Status report. Please inform the elusive man that we've made great strides in our research. His doubts about the lack of progress are unwarranted. A demonstration is forthcoming.
We don't really know what they're researching here, though. The only thing we do know is that there's a rogue VI, once again. And also Geth, somehow, are involved. Okay, no Geth so far. There's a control panel to retrieve the dish. There's more logs. And there's a nice infographic about the dish itself. This door is closed. These terminals are out. But yes, you can see the dish itself out there in the distance. And there seems to be some sort of a shuttle going out to this other compartment. The elusive man did mention that this was heavily compartmentalized. So let's listen to Archer's log first.
Memo to all project personnel. I understand there's some concern about handling live Geth. I agree it's a risk, but the potential reward is far greater. Someday your sons and daughters will thank you.
Handling live Geth. The Quarians will not be happy to hear that either. Well, let's retract that dish and save the place, I guess.
Damn it. The VI's overridden the controls. We have to stop him. He's trying to upload his program off-planet. Destroy the antenna inside the dish. There's a tram on the lower level. Get to it as fast as you can.
Yep, we did not manage to successfully retract the dish. It's just half retracted. And the VI is now stopping it from being completely retracted. So now we have to get out there and destroy the antenna, so that at least it stops transmitting things. And we're seeing some signs of corruption. In fact, you can see that the cameras are following us a bit. And there's green going on around here. Huh. This doesn't even work. And there are glowing eyes here. That's the other reason why I wanted to do this later rather than sooner, because I don't really like this DLC all that much. This is effectively Bioware's attempt at making a DLC that is horror themed, which mostly just uses jump scares. So what I need to do is to turn on dynamic range compression so that we could actually do something without getting jump scared too much. But we will continue going on next time. Well, we can go through the door though. And that's what I mean. So that's really annoying, and it just continues doing that all the time. So we will continue later with the other audio settings applied. See you all then. Later.